Unit 5. You're as old as you feel. Unit 5. Session A. Activity 8A.
Right. I. No. Check. Weigh. Whole.
B. 1.
Would you like a piece of cake?
2.
The sun was shining brightly.
3.
Come here. I want to talk to you.
4.
I bought these shoes in the sale.
5.
That's a beautiful red flower.
Unit 5. Session A. Activity 9.
My husband, Jim, was a carpenter, and I worked in a local shop until he became ill. He took early retirement because of his illness, but he died after 6 months. I've been a widow for 6 years now, and I still miss him. Apart from feeling lonely, I think the biggest worry is money. I get my state pension, but that isn't very much nowadays. Jim and I never had a pension plan. Nobody really worried about the future and money in those days. My other problem is my hip. I can't walk very well because of arthritis. I've needed an operation for the last 2 years. The social services say my disability isn't as great as other people's, and the waiting list for operations is very long. I do the housework and some gentle gardening. I like to be as active as possible. I go to a day centre once a week to meet my friends and have a chat. My sister couldn't afford to keep her house, so she's in residential care. I go to visit her once a fortnight. It's a nice place, but nothing like being in your own home.
Unit 5. Session A. Activity 12.
Grandad seems to be a bit better.
Yes, but he's still in a lot of pain.
I hope that I don't suffer from illness when I'm older.
Yes, I hope so too. It must be awful to be in hospital.
It's not just his health, though. He must get very lonely without Gran.
That's true. I should visit him more often.
Yes, me too. Do you think he's short of money?
Oh, I do hope not.
I think he gets a pension from his work.
I hope so. He shouldn't have to worry about money at his age. Unit 5. Session A. Activity 13. 1.
I work with older people, and many of them are very lonely. Some of them never see their family, and they have lost contact with their friends. Some of them do have a negative attitude and choose not to see people, but most of them love to have company, even if it's the nurse or a social worker. When I retire, I hope to spend a lot of time with people who are important to me. I hope that my house will be full of people all the time, and that I will continue to meet new people of all ages.
2.
I can't wait to retire. I'm a very active person, but I never have enough time for my hobbies. There are a lot of sports and activities that I would like to try, but I'm self-employed, so I have to work very long hours. I often work weekends too. I hope to take early retirement at the age of about 50. That way I'll be fit enough to enjoy my free time. I hope to take up sailing and rock climbing. I hope that I can try new things like windsurfing and diving.
3.
My parents are retired, and their only income is the state pension. My sisters and I have got good jobs, and we help when we can. Mum and Dad are very proud and they don't like taking much from us. I've got a pension plan and I invest as much money as I can. I hope to enjoy my retirement, and I don't think you can do that without money. I've got a nice house at the moment, and I hope that my standard of living won't drop when I retire. I hope that I'll be able to travel to different countries too. I'd hate to stay at home feeling bored all the time.
4. I'm a doctor, and about 30% of my patients are pensioners. Many of them come regularly for treatment for things like rheumatism and arthritis. It's awful to see how illness affects people. A lot of my patients get very depressed, and they hate being dependent on people. They feel they have failed because they're ill or they need help. Some suffer from mental problems which the general public can't understand. I hope that I don't suffer from any disability when I retire. I also hope to continue helping people and putting something into society. Unit 5, Session B, Activity 10A.
Famous. Vision. Pleasure.
B.
I get a lot of pleasure from my leisure time. There was a lot of confusion about the decision. I got very nervous because it was dangerous. It was a ridiculous decision which caused a lot of confusion. We must take measures to improve pensions.
Unit 5, Session B, Activity 14.
What are you doing, Margaret?
I'm just looking at this old photo album.
Oh, let me have a look.
Look at this one. Our first car.
Oh, yeah. We bought this just before we got married.
That's right. This photo was taken in the spring of 1933. We got married in 1934. I remember going out in the car for the first time. I was so excited.
Do you remember getting lost and me taking you home to your mother an hour late?
She was furious.
Oh, this one is our first house. Look.
Oh, yes. I'll never forget living with my mother as a married woman. 2 women cannot share a kitchen.
I was terrified of doing the wrong thing. How long did we live with your parents?
We'd been married for 18 months before we moved.
That's right. Oh, look at this one of the shop.
Oh, my word. I remember being pregnant with the twins when we started the business. Do you remember who was our best customer?
No. Who?
Mrs. Freeman. She was the local nurse who visited me every week when I was pregnant. She used to say that I shouldn't be helping you in the business. She knitted a couple of hats for the twins.
Oh, yes. I remember.
I kept the hats until Peter was born. He was such a lovely baby, so happy and always smiling. Oh, look at this photo of the hotel in Tenerife.
Our first holiday abroad. How old were we?
In our 60s. Young people travel so much nowadays.
True. It was a lovely holiday, though.
Oh, yes. I'll always remember it.
Unit 5, Session B, Activity 15.
So, tell me about them. Are they both still alive? And tell me their names. What jobs did they do? And where did they live when they retired? So, how would you describe their lives? Tell me about the good side. And what about the bad side? Well, that's life, isn't it? Thanks so much for talking to me.
Unit 5. Consolidation. Activity 1. Amy, I believe you do an annual sponsored walk. Now, you're 73, if you don't mind me saying so. Why do you do it?
Yes, that's right. I'm 73 and I've done the walk for the last 10 years.
Right. Well, why do you do it?
I do it to raise money for the local hospital. They're closing so many wards nowadays. They need all the help they can get.
I see. And do you have to train for the walk?
Well, I walk every day to keep fit.
Every day? That's wonderful.
Oh, yes, I love to be active. I visit local schools once a month.
Why do you do that?
Well, a lot of young children don't have contact with older people. I go to their schools to tell them what it's like to be a pensioner. Most of them are very interested.
What other things do you do?
Well, I go to a Spanish evening class once a week. I don't want to stop learning just because I'm retired.
No, of course.
And I spend my Friday evenings at the town hall. Oh, they have a dance every week.
Why do you go there?
Oh, just to have fun. I love dancing.
Well, Amy, thank you very much for talking to me.
And thank you.
Unit 5. Consolidation. Activity 5. Frank.
Oh, I love being around younger people. I have 5 grandchildren, and I'm lucky because I see them every week. They don't treat me like an old man. They include me in all their games. They listen to my stories about my life, and they are interested in my experiences. They keep me active and interested in life. We often go out together, and they've taught me how to play computer games.
Sheila.
I'm a bit frightened of younger people. I live alone and I don't have much contact with them. I don't really like them. They're so noisy and aggressive, and they don't have much respect for pensioners. I'm always afraid when I have to walk past a group of teenagers. My friend's handbag was stolen last month by 2 teenagers. She lost all her pension and some personal things, too. The police said they couldn't do anything. It's an awful situation.
Jim. I don't have any children, but I like having contact with younger people. I used to be a sports teacher, and I like to keep active. I do football training twice a week with a group of young kids. Many of them have got problems at home and at school. They're not bad children. They just need help and attention. They like it when people are interested in them. I enjoy the time I spend with them. It keeps me young.